Welcome back, V.O.C. YouTube channel. NFL Week 1 is complete. On to Week 2. I almost said NFL Week 2 is complete. No, it's not. NFL Week 1 is complete. Now we're on NFL Week 2. I think a lot of interesting things, but I don't think there's a lot to overreact. You can't really overreact. You see from the title of this video. Don't put too much into Week 1. There is 16 games left for each team. So there's a lot going on. It's not all boom, boom, boom. Oh my God, we put everything into Week 1. You can't do that. If you do that, you're going to have problems. That's where, we think teams win the Super Bowl in Week 1, and we think teams are the number 1 pick by Week 1. That doesn't always happen. Some teams that happens with, but not everyone. So let's jump into it. Like I said, you're building, you put stock in teams and you get overhyped or you get underhyped, you write teams off. There's some teams that you can write off. There's some teams that, you can get overhyped about because they're that good. So this is what I'm going to do. Today I'm going to break down every team, but I'm going to kind of do it quickly. I'm not going to sit here and fully break down every team. I'm just going to go through all 32 teams, kind of what a basis after Week 1, I think, and moving forward, what they can, what they potentially can't be. Let me start with the Bills here. Bills should stay and be the Super Bowl favorite as of right now. They demolished the defending champ Rams 31-10. Josh Allen, it's crazy to think that guy got no offers coming out of high school, went to Wyoming, and ended up being what he is because he is so good. He just is. Everything he does, I don't know. They had, 4 turnovers, and they still dominated the game. So Bills are very good. The Rams, I talked about last week, what issues do they really have? I said O-line. Clearly O-line is a definite problem. Matt Stafford sacked 6, 7, 8 times in the game. But I believe in McVay to kind of right the ship, figure things out. Clearly the Stafford to Cooper Kupp connection is there, but the running game needs to be figured out, and anybody else in the wide receiver corner needs to be figured out. 49ers, look, Trey Lance just needs more games, but the talent's there. The weather hurt him against the Bears, but he has the talent. But it's one of those things where, is he ready right now, or should they have just stayed with Jimmy Garoppolo? It's pretty much where it's at. The Bears, the weather helped, but I like to fight, not like to spare. I am fucking baffled the Bears won the game, but they were getting dominated in the first half. They come out in the second half. Matt Eberflus makes some changes. Guys buy in. They get excited. They have fun. Now we're sliding around in the field and in the typhoon weather. But I like what Matt Eberflus and what Ryan Poles are building for the Bears. I think that we have a chance to be very good in the future. It's going to be years from now, but I think we have the right pieces. Mind you, I said that the last time too, so we'll fucking see how this goes. The Eagles, Jalen Hurts can win games and he can lead a team. Look, they played the Lions. They got into a slugfest with the Lions, and people know it's the Lions. Yeah, Lions are better. They fight to the end. So do the Eagles, and so did Jalen Hurts. I like them a lot moving forward. The Eagles are that sneaky team, I think, in the NFC. And then on the Lions, look, Lions still need some pieces, but they fight. They have the right pieces in place. They're going on the right direction. I think Hard Knocks made people think that they're like right now playoff team. They're not. Still going to take some time. They need a quarterback, but they have pieces that are going to work. The Saints, Michael Thomas is back to being a top 10 wide receiver. When he's healthy, he's that good. But I think as the season goes on, they will miss Sean Payton more. I'm just an idiot. This guy's just an idiot here. More and more as the season goes on. They beat the Falcons. It's the Falcons. But they're going to miss Sean Payton, I think, as the season rolls on. The Falcons, they need a quarterback and defense 2 to 3 years out. Simple, plain and simple. Steelers, Mitch Trubisky looks and plays like he's older. He looks like he's been around the league a little bit longer, better. Not saying he's not going to do anything stupid because he can still be Mitchell Trubisky, but played good enough to help him win. Defense is really good. If Watt comes back like they think he will be, in 6 to 8 weeks, or whatever it is, from the torn pec, doesn't need surgery, they're going to be elite defensively. The Bengals are knocking off the Super Bowl rust, but they still have O-line issues. So it's one of those things where they played very bad, almost won the game. So their talent's there, but they have O-line issues. The Patriots, Bill has gone crazy since Tom left, and they have not helped Mac Jones kind of grow and stay in the upward trajectory. So I don't know what's going through Bill's mind, but he is nuts. That's all I can say. Since Tom has left, he's nuts. Dolphins, Tua needs to be just above good. He needs to play in that Jimmy Garoppolo, Jared Goff range when they both made it to Super Bowls for his team to get to the Super Bowl because they are that talented. Defensively, they are beast. And then they have the right, what the hell? Shit happening all over the place. And then they have the right weapons. That's tough for me to say. Right weapons on offense to help him kind of grow. The Ravens, look, Lamar Jackson is playing to prove to the Ravens he's worth more than the $250 million offer he rejected. He's worth $300 million. And he's going to play like this all year, and the Ravens are going to be very good. The Jets still need some time to rebuild and to grow. I think they kind of went the same thing with the Lions was the Jets had a great draft, so we just wanted to put them into their 9 wins, 8 wins right now. They're farther away than that, but I would like to see Zach Wilson when he gets back healthy to see how he's grown in year 2. Because I think from the quarterbacks that played last year, other than Mac Jones, but he played the best out of the rookie quarterbacks last year. You can see a growth in those guys that played last year on bad teams and had bad years from year 1 to 2. So I'd like to see what his growth looks like. The Jaguars, like I just said, Trevor Lawrence is playing better, but the team I think is a year out from being a team that can sneak into the playoffs. The Commanders, look, they played the Jags, and when Carson Wentz plays like that, your team can be successful, but the problem is, can Carson Wentz play like that? The track record shows no. The Browns, there's enough talent for them to win without Deshaun Watson. I kind of underestimated them, but it's week 1. They played Baker. They were proving to Baker that, look, dude, we didn't need you. We can win without you. You weren't our team. So I think they played up a little bit to their opponent, which was the Panthers, because, frankly, they didn't like Baker when he was on the team, and they wanted to prove that. The Panthers, look, Baker, Matt Rule, I know it's week 1, but they're not making the cases for them to be there next year. Colts, you missed Darius Leonard a lot on defense, but you couldn't beat the Texans, man. It's the Texans. You tied with the Texans. Every AFC South team played a game, and they all lost. And 2 of them played each other. Like, what? That is baffling me. Texans, look, that tie could hurt or help you get the number 1 pick. Like I said, there's some teams you can write off for being bad. The Texans are one of those teams. But, yeah, that could help or hurt you with that tie. The Giants, Saquon Barkley looks like he's at Penn State again. Saquon Barkley, when he was at Penn State, was electric. He was, you can make an argument, one of the best college football players the last 10, 15 years when he was there. We've seen it a little bit his rookie year, and every year it's kind of gone downhill a little bit. So it's interesting what Brian Daboll does, but Brian Daboll has massive balls because they go down, and it's a PAT to tie it. He goes, no, we're going to go for 2, and we're going to take the lead. What happens? Gives it to Saquon Barkley. Boom. Massive balls on a massive man like Brian Daboll. Brian Daboll, massive balls. The Titans, look, King Henry's getting older, but I think as the season goes on and he gets back from his injuries and feeling better, he's going to continue to be dominant, but I think that they're slowly, we know what they are, and they're slowly getting older and I think fading away from what we expect from them. It's one of those things where it wouldn't be surprising if, the Jags kind of slowly start to overtake them in the next couple of years, because it's just, we've seen what they are, and sadly it feels like it's gone downhill. going downhill. The Packers, look, week 1 woes are Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers' thing. So you can't put too much into that. So I'm looking at the Packers going, okay, they played bad last year. The Vikings are better than what they were last year. And the Packers are going to figure it out. The Vikings, look, I think Justin Jefferson can carry them. He had career high in yards. Kevin O'Connell makes Kirk Cousins look better, play better. And with the collection of talent they have on offense, they still have some talent on defense. I think that they can be a team that really, I'm not saying they win the Super Bowl, but they can make some noise in the NFC to where they potentially get in the playoffs and they knock off a team that we didn't expect. The Chiefs, look, I told you the Chiefs are still the Chiefs without Tyreek Hill. They still have Patrick Mahomes, they still have Andy Reid, Travis Kelce. They still have talent. See, like, people wanted to write them off. I know their division's tough, but come on, dude, they're still the Chiefs. Cardinals, look, Cliff Kingsbury's just a pretty face. How many times I have to say it? Very pretty face, but not an NFL coach, not a college coach, and he's only hurting Kyler Murray. And Kyler Murray is, get this big, massive contract, so much hype into you, leading this team, and it's just, I don't know what to say. It's rough to watch because it's like, wow. And I get they played the Chiefs, but it's like, come on. The Raiders' offense will have to carry them. We've seen that. But can Derek Carr do it? He struggled mightily. Can he carry them is going to be the question. The Chargers, look, they have enough talent to win multiple Super Bowls for the next 5, 6, 7 years. They're that talented, but can they do it? I think everybody puts stock into the Chargers, and they always disappoint. Can Brandon Staley change that? Look, with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom's personal life, clearly not going to get in the way. Defense looks very energetic under Todd Bowles as the head coach. The offense, it's only going to get better. If Julio Jones continues to be this Julio Jones we've seen in week 1, this offense is going to be scary. The Cowboys, look, even when Dak was on the field, they looked horrible. I think it's time for the Cowboys to realistically start rebuilding. You have Dak, keep him, but rebuild around him and rebuild around his strengths. Jerry, don't mess this up. I think everybody thought the Cowboys were a Super Bowl team, and it's like Cowboys are not that good. They don't have what we think they do. They have a couple guys. They have Dak, CD on offense, and then you have Micah Parsons on defense and Trayvon Diggs. Build around those 4. I don't think it's going to be a fun season for a Cowboys fan. The Broncos, you cannot kick a 64-yard field goal. Nathaniel Hackett, dude. Let Russ cook. Let Russ lead this team. And let Russ make decisions, kind of like when Tom kind of got to Tampa. Let him dictate what's going on. And the Seahawks, look, they just played and they just won their Super Bowl. And that's the Geno Smith we expected to see when he came out of West Virginia, 8, 9 years ago? So the Seahawks, emotions were high. They wanted to beat Russ. They're going to come back down to reality a little bit, I think, throughout the year. But they have good pieces. I like their offensive line. Young Charles Cross, first-round pick, looked very good until towards the end of the game. So they're going to rebuild. Pete Carroll might not fully be there for the rebuild just because he's 70 years old. But they did the right thing in getting rid of Russ and learning how to, and understanding, not learning, but understanding, we needed to rebuild. We needed to go a different direction. All right. Like I said, I wanted to keep it simple. I kind of wanted to go through every team. Now, I won't do this every week. I'll go through the main points as the week goes on. But when you do a video one day, and I try to keep it not super long, you try to keep it short, that's kind of what you have to get to. But as the season goes on, I'll pick out the more high, fine-tuned topics and talk about them. All right, on to my picks. My picks were horrible last week. NFL's tough for me to pick. It's 2-5, not proud of it. Cried while watching the games. So hopefully we can do better this week. Chargers at Chiefs. Chiefs 4-point favorite. Like I said, Chiefs are still the Chiefs. I like the Chiefs in this game. Like I said, until you can beat them and you can prove to me, and I know the Chargers beat them last year, I like the Chiefs. Bears 1-0, baffled that I'm saying that. At Packers 0-1. Packers are a 10-point favorite. Spread is very big, but I've seen this story happen many times with the Bears and Packers. Bears play really good first week. Packers suck. Bears have looked good going into these games. Packers haven't. And then we get obliterated. I like the Packers to win this game, as much as it pains me to say it. I've seen this play out way too much. Packers are too talented. Bears don't have enough talent. Bucks minus 2.5 at Saints. Tom Brady in the regular season has not beat the Saints yet. My gut is telling me to go with. This is a tough one. This is a very tough one. My gut is telling me I'm going to go with the Bucks. I won't tell you what my gut's telling me. My gut's telling me the Bucks. I'm going to go with the Bucks here. I'm not too keen on it, but I'm going to go Bucks. Patriots, 2-point favorite, even though they lost last week at the Steelers. I think this is a game where the Steelers win it. I don't trust Bill right now. He's like gone nuclear crazy. I just don't get it. Dolphins at Ravens. Ravens 3.5-point favorite. I like the Ravens here. Like I said, this is the warpath season for Lamar Jackson. Warpath. Cardinals at Raiders. This is a very interesting game. I think it could be a shootout. Who do I trust more in those shootouts? I'm going to go with Raiders are 5.5-point favorites. This is one of those games that I'm going to go with the Cardinals here. I think it's one of those games where it could be a shootout, and I think Kyler Murray can score some points to win this game. Vikings at Eagles. I think this is a very intriguing game. Eagles are 2-point favorites. This is another one where I'm like, ooh, I don't know. Where do I go? I like the Vikings in this one. Not saying I'm like fully on the Vikings bandwagon going after week 1, but I just like what they're doing. I like the vibe they have. Justin Jefferson going to go prove to the Eagles why they should have drafted him yet again. And yeah, that's my picks. Like I said, hopefully I'm keeping these videos not super long. I want to keep them flowy, keep them motive. They always go longer than what you think. But look, there's my picks. Hopefully I do better. Hopefully I don't cry again this week. So that's going to do it for wrap up of week 1 into week 2 NFL.